Welcome back to the episode of Just Say Guay. I'm your host, George Guay. Today I'm joined by Grant Mismash, who just finished his junior season at the University of North Dakota on the hockey team. Grant, well, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so could you just introduce yourself, like I said, and tell us where you've been with your sport, where you are now?
Grant Mismash, obviously. I'm from Edina, Minnesota. I grew up kind of just around the cities area my whole life, kind of bounced around between towns, but always kind of around that Minnesota area and Minneapolis area. But at the University of North Dakota now, obviously. Been here for 3 years. It's been great. I have nothing but good things to say about this place. But yeah.
Yeah, so what was it like growing up in such a great hockey culture like Minnesota?
It was obviously right from the get-go. I had an older brother that was playing hockey before me. My dad played hockey, and it was just kind of right from the get-go. I was 3 years old or whatever it was, kind of taking skating lessons, and it was awesome. I grew up actually as a Minnesota Gopher fan, so it was kind of funny how I ended up here, and just watching North Dakota and Minnesota play, and just the rivalry growing up was very intense. And I was on the other side of it when I was younger. Obviously, like I said, I was a Gopher fan, so I didn't. Growing up, I actually really disliked the Sioux and North Dakota, but it's pretty funny how it ended up. But it was great growing up in Minnesota. Just so many great hockey players, and I still have just all my best friends and whatnot are kids that I grew up playing hockey with for 10 plus years. And, it's really awesome to have those relationships and those bonds.
Yeah, it's awesome. It seems like it's also bigger beyond hockey the farther you go. So you played for the United States Development Program for the junior experience, the U17 and 18 levels. Very successful, actually, one season, 61 points in 65 games. What are some of the challenges of playing for that team?
Sorry, I think keeps breaking up a little bit at the end. Can you repeat that last part quick?
What were the challenges of playing for Team USA for your junior experience?
The challenges, man. The first year was very tough. The U17 year is really hard, and it's kind of just a kick in the butt. Just, obviously we're not winning a whole lot of games, but when we play USHL teams, obviously, we're kind of just thrown right into the pit right away. And but I mean, it's a great experience. It's really hard to go through that first year, but obviously there's a lot of mixed feelings about whether kids like that place or whatnot. But overall, I enjoyed it. It was a good learning experience. I learned a lot. I was able to play with a lot of great players. I had so many good kids on my team, and it was. But I would say that first year is a really big challenge, and just working out and getting used to. You're just like kind of getting fit into your body. You're still pretty fresh, and you're not fully aged yet, and you're not grown into your body yet completely. And our workouts there are very hard, and so it's just a whole learning experience. And but I mean, it was a good 2 years, and came out with a gold medal. So.
Definitely a good memory to have forever. So you made the decision to go to North Dakota, and you said growing up you were a big Minnesota fan and wasn't really a big fan of North Dakota, kind of rooted against them. What was the factor that made you want to go to North Dakota? Because something must have stuck out for you.
Yeah, it was, I took both visits. Right from the get-go, I kind of knew it was going to be down to North Dakota and Minnesota. I kind of just wanted to stay closer to like the home area around the Midwest kind of area. And I mean, obviously there's other great schools like Duluth and whatnot but I kind of just had a feeling it was going to be between North Dakota and Minnesota, and took my 2 visits to both the spots. And I don't know, kind of just came out with just coming here. Obviously the facilities are crazy, and we just keep getting new things every year, and we keep getting better and better. And it's just, I don't know, this place was unreal. The coaches were phenomenal, and they took us in, and even my family, my parents were saying just like how crazy, how like comfortable they were right away with the coaches, and they were just awesome. They were very down to earth, and they just cared about our development, and obviously off the ice too with school. They're very, they want us all to get our degrees, and it's great to see that. And they love us here. They love every kid on our team, and they'll go on the ice whenever they want with us. They'll do skill sessions, and they care a lot about us here. And it's great to see the fans here are obviously great and very passionate. So it's a big hockey town, and it was hard to turn down. It's all about hockey here as a kid. Obviously you want to play at the place where you think it's gonna propel you into the NHL and to the next level. So hard not to look at this place and Price, Tays, all those guys. It's just they're producing every year, so it's good to see.
Yeah, so it's definitely paid off as it's shown over the years. So also, you were drafted by Nashville back in 2017. What was it like to be picked by that team? Because they came right off the Stanley Cup run. They lost to Pittsburgh, but it's definitely a team that seems like it's going to be successful for many years to come.
It was that was a great experience. Obviously, Nashville's a great organization. It was like you said, they were coming off that Stanley Cup run, and like the whole city was just going crazy. And right after I got drafted, obviously went to development camp, and just the energy there was so cool. It was I don't know, you can just feel it whenever you would walk around the city, and the rink is right downtown there, and the vibe there is just great, and the people are great there. And it's good to see cities like that kind of evolve, and like Arizona, and just places like that in Florida that are coming to be like hockey cities, and it's great to see that in the United States here. So but yeah, it was I'm very fortunate to say that I got drafted, and it's a blessing. And but still a lot of work to do here, and gotta have a year first, and gotta have a good year and produce, and and go from there.
It's a good mindset to have. So when you get drafted, obviously you go to development camps. You've been to a few with the Nashville Predators. Do you find it gets harder each year because more guys are coming in, or do you think that, when you got there at first, it was a bit of a learning experience?
Yeah, right. Like right away, the first 2 years were for sure kind of like feel it out, kind of like what's going on, and like what do I have to look for here, and obviously the first year more so just kind of getting used to it, and just how the organization runs, and how the people are, the staff, the players are sometimes around there. You get to meet a few of them, which was kind of cool. It was the first year is a little obviously new. You're kind of getting used to it. You don't know what to expect, and but as you go, it's not all the same every year, but you kind of do most of the same kind of stuff. So it's obviously when I got into my third year, it was like I kind of know what to expect, and fitness testing and things like that. I kind of know what to do when I come in, and just seeing those young players get drafted, like I was obviously there. You're very ecstatic. You don't know what to expect, and it's kind of cool to see these young kids now coming in, and when they get drafted, and it's just cool to see their faces when they see the town and what it's like to skate on the big rink in Nashville, or whatever the case may be. It's pretty cool to see that, and just just brings a smile to your face, obviously. So it's cool.
Definitely sounds like it. So I know this season got cut off short, but how enjoyable was it for you guys this year? You guys were always in the top 5. I always followed. I go to Providence College, and I check the list every week. You guys were always in the top 5. And 7 guys put up more than 20 points, and arguably the best player in the country leading the charge as well. So what was fun about that?
And it was this year was something else. It was like we just couldn't lose. It was like my first 2 years, it was just like we couldn't get any bounces. We weren't getting the luck, and this past year we were getting every bounce, and we were winning every game. It just seemed like we couldn't lose. It was crazy. We were just obviously we were playing great hockey. Don't get me wrong, but it was just we were just getting those shots. We were getting those bounces that were going in, and obviously we're making great plays too. With we had 2 good power play units. We had 4 lines that were just buzzing every night, and obviously our decor I think has gotten better even this year now with a couple of young players coming in and whatnot. So, we just had a very well-rounded team, and it was so fun. It was just, we were winning every game, and a lot of the games we were winning by a good amount too. So it was just good, fun hockey to play. And I think we lost one game in the first half at home. We almost went undefeated at home in the first half. So it was a pretty crazy year, and it was definitely one of the best years of my life for sure. And hopefully we can have another year like that coming up here.
Definitely could happen. So I got to ask, being at where I go to school at Providence, there's a lot of good teams. There's not like one team that kind of represents the school. We got a good hockey team. There's good basketball, lacrosse, and soccer always put out a good season. Is there more pressure at North Dakota? Because it kind of seems like that's not only the school's team, but it's also the state's team as well.
Yeah. It's it's a lot of. There is pressure. Obviously, it's like I said a little bit earlier. Our fans are very, very passionate, and they'll let you know it if like I said, like the first 2 years we missed the NCAA tournament my first 2 years, and fans are pretty ruthless here. So, but it's good. I would rather have that than maybe not have any fans at all, and just fans that maybe don't care about your team. But it's great to have that here. Like, just if we go out to restaurants or whatnot, and like fans will come up to us and kind of talk about like the weekend or our power play or whatever the case may be. It's kind of funny just to see that, and but it's good to have that. A little bit of pressure, but it's good to have that. I would rather have that, and have fans kind of obviously want expectations, and I think it's good to set high expectations, and luckily last year we were able to meet most of those. I would assume so. I would say that. So
yeah, I think a lot of people would agree with you. They'd rather have that fan experience than not have it at all. So I noticed that with college hockey, some guys try to make the jump from leaving there after their junior year to go pro, or even make the option of coming back for their senior year. You made that decision. Was leaving after the third year an option?
It was a little bit of an option. It wasn't like what like Kawaguchi and like Kierseth had. They had more of an option than anybody else on our team. But I probably could have, but it was I knew kind of right when the season was over that I didn't really care, or I shouldn't say I didn't care like what was going to be offered to me. But I kind of just knew that I wanted to come back, and just I don't know, this place it's so fun and it's so awesome here, and it was hard not to want to come back for another year, and especially with just how it ended and whatnot. So but yeah, it was I want another year and have a good fourth year, and hopefully see what happens from there. So but yeah, it was it was hard not to come back for a fourth year, just talking to some alumni and whatnot, and they all say they love it, and also talking to some guys that leave early, and they'll say like, oh, I wish I would have came back for however many more years of eligibility they had and whatnot. So just interesting to hear that from certain guys, and obviously we want to intake that and go from there and make decisions on that. But so yeah, I decided to come back for another year, and we got a good group coming back, so I think it'll be another special year.
Yeah, it seems like a long process to make that decision. I think it takes a lot of maturity to say, I need that extra year, and it will help out in the long run. So you're going to be a senior now, and typically the seniors are expected a lot more than the other players in terms of leadership-wise, unless like a junior wears an assistant captain or something like that. How much of the leadership you've been asked to do has changed now that you're a senior, even though there's a pandemic?
Yeah. Obviously, yeah, we have our main leaders, obviously, that wear letters and whatnot. And then obviously, I would say, yeah, usually the whole senior class, it has to be, they're all leaders. Obviously, we've all been here. We all know what the process is. So we're expected to, for sure, take those younger guys under our wing and obviously, guide them and whether it's in the weight room or with class or just getting around town, what restaurants to go to, you know what I mean? Just things like that. Just simple things that just helps them. It's just easier for them to adapt to what's going on with us here, and they're not coming in scared. It's we want them to come in and feel like welcome, feel at home, and obviously there's a time and place where they're gonna on the ice and whatnot to earn their spot and kind of earn earn our respect in locker room and whatnot. But that'll come, and they'll be able to figure that out when the time comes. But yeah, it's just little things like that, kind of just making them feel welcome, and in the locker room, setting good examples, in the weight room, setting good examples, and I think we've done a great job of that so far. Our whole team is pretty much here right now in Grand Forks, so the freshmen have been great, the young guys have been good, and I think it'll be a good year.
Yeah, for sure. With how many guys coming back and the expectations, and I think you guys will have a great year, especially since it's always been a great program. But Grant, I really appreciate you for coming on my show. I'll be following you guys this year and beyond that. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching.